Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba. Bam, audio is good now. Okay, gotcha. All right, so I guess this thing isn't working. Don't know why. Ted, Andrew, Pepper Moon Garage. Who the hell is Pepper Moon Garage? But I like what I'm seeing there. Who's on a Jeep? Whatever that is, a Jeep CJ. You know what they call them? All right, now I can. All right, Ron Nelson's in the house. Oh man, as long as Ron Nelson, I forgot to like some of the videos this week. Well, I'll be freaking long boat rider. You're really pissing me off. CJ 17 1976. Okay. I didn't ask for all that detail. FYI, I just asked as a Jeep CJ. That's all I asked for. Wow. Let me guess. It has a friggin'. Let me guess all the other stuff that you're so proud of. You're like, look at me. I got my Jeep CJ, everybody. It's a 1776. Right on, Dave. Merry Christmas to you too, brother. Oh, boy. Freaking Pepper Moon Garage is like, I know you only asked if it was a Jeep CJ, but let me give you all the. Here's a VIN number. Oh, boy. Here's my wheels. Did my Wilbur's chocolate show up yet? They did not. And now I'm fully in anticipation of getting Will. Oh, my man's not here. They did not, Ted. And how dog dare you tell me about it in advance? That's the wrong answer. But I am going to sneeze. Hold on a second. Oh, by the way, freaking. The powerhouse SEC got smoked by Miami, all right, because Texas A&M sucked. We all knew that. And then, Ole Miss got to play Tulane because the SEC always gets the freaking powder puff games. And I did say Alabama was going to beat Oklahoma, but so SEC is what 2-2 now. One of the games they got a powder puff, and one of the game they had to play. Still looking for the doobie-doo below Drewski. Yeah, right on. You should be looking for that, Drew. Doobie-doo below. Oh, wait, Drewski. Yeah. Well, Drewski is in Minnesota, and you are, if memory serves, where are you? You know, upstate New York? Longbow rider? I'm confused. I don't know. Chris's haircut looks good. You'll be singing those Christmas carols. Happy Christmas. Remember that Jesus is the reason for the season. Nice rhymes. No, I can't. All right, good. So we got Jamie is here. Pulverizer says, I like my job most days. Why would I want to retire? You don't have to. You don't have to, Pulverizer. Do what you want, the Pulverizer. You do what you want. All right, so remember, if you're on the Josh Scanlon YouTube channel, we don't have a whole lot of people there. Facebook, not a whole lot of people there. It's a main channel is the Heritage Wealth Planning YouTube channel. What's up, Jody T? Jody T in the house. Heritage Wealth. I don't even know if I'm on the Facebook thing anymore. I can't remember. But so we got a couple people on Facebook, a couple people on Josh Scanlon, but the bulk of, if you're wondering where the comments are, it's on the, I can't do, oh, never mind. All right. So a couple of things I want to go into here tonight, and I'm down in the basement, so hopefully y'all can still hear this when I go over here to, see, this is why I wanted the mic, man, so I could go around and y'all could hear me while I'm doing this, because I was talking to this guy yesterday, freaking legend, and I was like, dude, how do you even, like, and a great guy. I was like, how do you, and he emailed me after I mentioned, not to mention him specifically, obviously, but mentioned, his scenario in a video. I said, how do you not know that you can do this? Like, you see what I'm saying? He's, he just didn't know. I mean, he kind of knew. Most people hire me have a pretty good idea. But I was like, how do you even, like, debate this? And this guy isn't. He's just wondering. And that's fine, man. I said, I'll take your money to answer this for you all day long. But it's still amazing to me how many people fall for the false narrative. Retiring end of May next year, says Mr. Rick. All right, good, man. How old are you going to be, Mr. Rick? His basement kitchenette is nicer than my kitchen. Well, Pulverizer, you stick with me, kid. I'll take you places. I'll take you there. All right. Sounds pretty good. You're 57. All right. I just called the boss and quit. She said to get my ass in gear and take the trash to the garage. Yeah. All right, Drewski. All right. I forgot that you're a longbow rider, Drewski. I forgot you. I thought I was mixing you up with somebody else. My tar paper shack is good enough for me. And NFL contracts guaranteed. Micah Parsons signed $178 million. Well, they can be. They can be guaranteed. Well, I'm sure Lloyd's of London is there. Speaking of which, why is Tulane? I was listening to Jason Whitlock talk about this. God, I said, why is Tulane and James Madison getting these freaking bids? It's stupid. And what Whitlock said was, and it made sense. So some guy who's interviewing on the Whitlock channel, he said, Jason Whitlock, he said basically the NCAA doesn't have exemption for antitrust. So to basically they have to open up a couple, playoff opponents, James Madison and Tulane, in order to avoid being sued for antitrust. I said, the whole thing is just so stupid. It's just, come on, man. No one wants to see James Madison. This isn't the NCAA basketball tournament. No one where they got 64 people in there. No one wants to see James Madison. No one wants to see Tulane. It's embarrassing. It's a waste of everybody's time. And I mean, they're moving the ball forward. I like the fact, man, look at you, Magic 60 flats 99. Retired 4 years now, still haven't touched Princeton. I'm 65, not sacrificed. Man, that's freaking fantastic, man. That is fantastic. I salute you, man. I salute you. Anyway, it's just like they don't want to violate, they don't want to be sued for antitrust. I'm like, the whole thing. There's absolutely no reason the NFL, Major League Baseball, not NCAA, NBA, I presume NHL. I don't know about the NHL actually, because I don't know, but there's no reason these big things should get antitrust protection. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, so I want to show you guys something that was pretty interesting to me. I got that song by the Lumineers, Hey Ho, on my brain. Ho, it's a pretty good song. But I think did the Lumineers, was it who? No, it was Mumford, one of those bands. I belong where I belong. I can sing the song. Because I don't listen to Pink Floyd because I don't like men. You know what I'm saying? They should just, all right, Celtic Spirit, we're going to have to ban you for 5 minutes. Ban user, put Celtic Spirit in timeout. I don't know how long can I be. I didn't want to ban. Joe, how do I freaking unban him? Oh man, I didn't want to do that. I thought I just put him in timeout. How do I get Celtic Spirit back? People right there. Wait a second. I don't want to ban him. I just want to put him in timeout for being silly. How the hell do I get it back? Oh, I just put him in timeout. How do I, Celtic Spirit? I don't know how to get you back. I'll just ban you for saying that. How the hell do I get him back? Show comments on stage. Banners, media, assets, style, those people. Right there. Copy invite link. I don't want Celtic. I want Celtic Spirit. Dude, how the hell do I get him back? I didn't want to break out the ban. I was just trying to be silly and freaking put him on timeout. It said timeout. Oh, dude, you gotta be. I don't know how to. All right, here, people, maybe. Nope. Dude, that freaking sucks. Celtic Spirit is a good guy. It just said put him in timeout. I thought I just put him in timeout for a second. How do I There's got to be a way to freaking undo him in timeout. Dude. Sorry, man. Celtic Spirit. That just is not coming back, Josh. Stick to what I'm good at, being silly as a woman. Just say he's in timeout. But how do I? That's what I try to do. I try to put him in timeout just for being silly. But now I don't know how to get him out of timeout. I'll look up Celtic Spirit. I'm going to look him up. How do I do that, man? Huh. I guess we're going to have to go without Celtic Spirit tonight. Dude. I was just being silly. Man, now I feel bad because Celtic Spirit is for 300, but it said he was banned, Marie. It said he was banned. It said was banned and their comments were removed. I swear to the GOOD, I only put them in. Let me look at Fast Eddie. I put user in timeout, but it said I must have hit ban user and delete their comments. How do I unban somebody? I don't know, man. If someone could look up how to unban somebody, I'd really appreciate it because I love Celtic Spirit. He's a big asset to the channel. Can't post comments to some destination. Anyway, someone could find out how. I meant to put him in timeout, but I must have hit ban instead. I don't know how I did that. Oh, man, that's freaking. I don't want to ban. I freaking want Pulverizer ban, not Celtic Spirit. I tried one of the administrators, but I'm like higher competent mods. I'm like the major. He'll be back. If not what I see, just timeout. You see, it says it's timeout on there, Marie. I hope so. Higher competent mods. He'll be back. Not what I see, just timeout. I am one of the administrators. I'm like the administrator. He overrode the mod. Exactly. Manage. That's manage. I don't. Oh, guest. Manage guest. Nope. But guess enter. Guess. All right. Well, whatever. Dude, that sucks. Donkey balls. Is that what it says? He's in timeout, Harry. Is that what you're seeing? I was literally just goofing, man. It was like because he says he didn't like the playoff, go back to the old ways, and the not having the playoff has been my thing my whole life. I've always wanted a playoff. Now we finally got one. It's a stupid playoff, but all right. How do you see that? How come you can see it? How come I can't? Oh wait, do I got to go to YouTube? Maybe I got to go to YouTube. Right, well, Celtic Spirit lives in Connecticut. He's probably like the only guy in Connecticut that's smart. All right, let's see here. Hold on a sec. Oops, one. Wait, I don't know how to do it now. Wait, what the hell freaking channel is this? Oh, that's my other YouTube channel. 1 second. Hank, guys, this is professionalism at its finest here. All right, here we go. Close. So can you hear me? Let's see. All right, hold on a second. Top fans, community participant, reactions, pop up chat, participant, community moderation. All right. And categories, agreements created. Hold on a second, everybody. Channel, ad cat permissions. That's not what I want. Right, stupid YouTube. Everybody's wrong except for me. It's much more calm on this channel. It's Ron Nelson. Ron Nelson's on my Josh Scanlon YouTube channel. He says it's much more calm on this channel. That's funny. Hey, how come I can't see? I don't know what the hell's going on here, man. I'm losing my freaking mind. I'm actually not like. All right, hold on a second. All right, there we go. Celtic Spirit can try. Here's Denise. I think I will leave live tonight before I am banned too. Please don't ban me. Oh, I'm gonna ban everybody. All right, so let me see how I can chat. It's gotta be a way to freaking ban, not unban people. Engage with the audience, top fans, community moderation. I don't know, man. I don't know how to get him back on. Everyone, Marie says he should be able to come back. All right, here we go. You deleted message. Go to channel, report, move, put user in timeout. How do you channel? Go to channel, pin message, report, remove, put user. I don't know what to do, man. How do I get him back? Channel activity, go. It said hide user. I don't want to hide user on this. I want to add as moderator. All right, so I'm going to as moderator. Now, Josh, look on your phone. Did anyone else see Josh's ugly dog piss on a nice neighborhood dog this weekend? Denise is back. Oh, I love seeing Denise here. All right. I hope Celtic Spirit comes back. I don't know how to get him back. I just made him a moderator. They should have kept the old. That's what he said right there. They said, so here it is. So it says you've removed his comments. Now, can I unremove his comment? Unremove. So, Celtic Spirit, you are now a moderator, but I don't know how to get you back. Oh boy, I'm freaking stupid. I'm dumb. Anyway, Josh uses some stuff. Show up to a live and see who is banned next. Do it. All right. So Maria's saying everything will be fine in 5 minutes, but the problem with Maria is she likes to ride bicycles when people are driving like 1,000 miles an hour. I was like, so Maria's, I don't know if I trust Maria. Let's say prayers here real quick while we wait for Celtic Spirit to come back. Yeah, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for all you've done for us. We thank you for giving us the freedom to live in America, the pleasantries that we have, with the comforts that we have. May we remember those who are in much dire need in this whole season, Christmas season. Thank you for bringing Jesus into our realm. Dear Lord, we are just in awe of your glory, of all you've done for us. Please let us advance peace on earth and goodwill towards men. Please let's have a wonderful Christmas season. And we pray for all those who are suffering right now, for the loss of a loved one, for losing a loved one who's sick, who's alone, who's sad. We just pray for all those people. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. So now Josh uses something. All right. So Denise, hey, Penelope, Denise, Maria, all right. Can he change? Oh, that's probably a good one, Tom. Probably can. Well, everyone else is saying he's going to be back in 5 minutes. We'll see. When I invented YouTube, I didn't anticipate people like Josh banning viewers when he attended a timeout. I literally don't think I banned him. I can't be. Maybe I just don't know what the hell I'm doing. I thought there's a way to unban people. I know there is in here someplace. I'll figure it out at some point. I heard they could only find unbanned. Oh, okay. Let's see. They're going to unban people on the phone for real? I don't know what's right and wrong. Let me try that. Hold on a second. It really bothers me that I got freaking Celtic Spirit banned. Let me try that. Maybe that's me. One second. Let me find him. Blink. Where's Celtic Spirit? I mean, look, we all, Oh, yeah, it was timed out for 30 seconds. There you go. All right, sweet. Yes, all right. All right. There we go. So, I mean, everybody, Celtic Spirit gets on everybody's nerves. We all know that. Charlie Handball. Hey, he got mad and left. No, it's more than this. Oh. I ain't going to get mad and left. No way. He knows us. Yeah, but I couldn't figure out how to unban him from the phone. It said he'll be back in. I don't know how to do it. Said he should be back in. Anyway, whatever. We'll figure it out. Yeah, dude, that's what I wanted to happen. All right. Well, I hope he comes back. I'll just goof it because when you get banned from both channels. I don't know, man. Good question, Fast Eddie. But your Miami Hurricanes won today, so that was good. Anyway, so the point being was he was talking about the freaking football. He didn't like the playoffs. He wanted to go back. I said that's unacceptable. Yeah, so we know you're okay. Exactly. Come on, man. No, I guess that's there's no way he just left. He had to know that was goofy on him, right? Because you can still watch. Oh, I feel bad. Stewart will take Celtic Spirit's place. Who the hell is Stewart? I don't know who Stewart is. Anyway, so while we're waiting for hopefully makes a reappearance. Oh boy. But anyway, my whole life has been saying we need a college football playoff. So anyone who says a college football playoff sucks, like Jason Whitlock, they need to be banned. That's what I thought I was doing. Just to be silly, put him in timeout to be silly. So we can't say freaking who is Stewart? Ohio State's gonna win it all again. Nah, dude, Ohio State's not that good. I'm back. Haven't been as broken. Hey, yay. That was a long 300 seconds. I think Celtic Spirit, I think it's Being dumped at junior prom, man, for real? Hey, my man Clint, do you know why I give money to you? I will tell us, man. Keep us friggin' I wanna know so I can do more of that, get more money from you. Was the guy that dumped you? Oh my goodness. It was Italian spirit. No, Italian or something like that. Oh, and my man Clint always I appreciate Clint. Clint's alright. Staying with Chad. Keep your fingers off the keyboard. Alright, anyways, so just don't tell me what to do, Marie. I'm gonna ban you just for being a bicyclist. Alright, so let's go this wow, I wasn't expecting any of that. So that was 30 minutes of freaking audio is dropping now? God, now it's man, one of my favorite guys, audio is dropping. We're already 24 minutes into this, haven't done anything yet. For real? Is it just freaking pulverizer? Because I can't. Look at you, Clint Perry. Right on, man. I appreciate you, brother. I really do. Well, that's good. An Irish shirt? No, it's freaking Georgia Tech, Tom. I'm not wearing an Irish shirt, but my son got denied from my by the way, my boy, here's stupid Tom, Notre Dame thing. Thought it was a bit inconsistent into the freaking oh boy, it's falling apart. This whole freaking thing is a cluster. Whoever's run the show, audio is decent here. Don't complain, but he will ban you. Exactly. I do have a mic, Ree. I was trying to get it to work and it didn't work. That's why I had to stop it. I got one. I was like, "What the hell?" It didn't I don't understand. The whole thing is just a clusterfuck. That's all there is to it. Anyway, so the point being was, Liam got denied from freaking Notre Dame, so Notre Dame can kiss my big fat behind. We should probably ban Tom too. Tom and I'm afraid to do that now because I actually like Tom. Unlike Celtic Spirit, who I don't like, but I do like Tom. So I put Tom in timeout. I'll probably go for freaking 5 years. I like Tom. Tom's all right. Keep up. Hey, right on, Clint. All right, Clint. You're drunk, dude. I appreciate you giving me the money, brother, but you don't have to. Have 100%. I appreciate you, man. I really do. But hey, man, I'm your charitable concern. Much obliged. I really am obliged, but I feel guilty. I feel guilty when people do that. Up here being stupid, as you can see by this cluster that is a freaking live show. All right. Anyway, Clint, if you got something you want me to chat on, man, you fire my way. But Charlie Handball, where are you at, Charlie Handball? You're hey, if it ain't nothing, then $10 over $30 is what are you doing? It needs to be $300. My goodness. All right, so let's go to this. I wanted to show you this. This is pretty interesting. Nothing that you will shock you guys. Gonna talk about this a million times. So I just so this is our I forgot who did this right here. It's the Core Bridge Financial. I don't know who the hell these people are, but when will you need the most income in retirement? Research shows that spending is often highest in the early years of retirement. And we're going to go to the BLS numbers. I think this is from 2024, I believe. Let's see here. Hey, thanks, Clint. You're the man, Clint. And what you're going to find here again is when you're age 65 to 74, your average annual expenditures. I just did a video on this the other day. Is 65,000. 75 plus is 53,000. Well, you can see why because our apparel and services drops pretty significantly. Our food drops pretty significantly. Entertainment drops pretty significantly. Personal insurance and others drops pretty significantly. So why did these things drop? Because one of your people are dead. I mean, not there's a decent drop off household household 9 to 1 point. That might not seem like a big drop off, but once you're over 75, then you start going further over 75, it drops even more. So the older you get, the more likely. I did not notice it, Dave. What was it? Was it? I mean, I did a video on that like a month ago. I didn't see what the end of it was. A good avatar, by the way. Jesus is crushing. What was it? It's coming out. Damn. All right. God. I don't know what the hell's going on. All right, let me try this freaking mic. Hold on. Is it just the audio is cutting out? This thing's falling apart. What's going on? Oh, it's just the audio. Okay. So let me put the freaking mic in there. Huh. Scream upstairs or to get off Wi-Fi. Exactly. All right. So I'm gonna put this guy into the computer. All right, here for my mic. So it wasn't just me. All right. Put that in. We're gonna click this button. We're gonna click the button. Maybe we'll click this little button. I click the button, and it should say, "Oh, do I gotta one? You hold it for 5 seconds. There you go. Should be connected. Hey, look at Harry. Appreciate you, Harry. Do you get your wife to approve that? Right. So now we're gonna put my healthcare premiums. Yeah, that sucks, Denise. Man, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's freaking crazy. So, all right. So now we should Bluetooth. Why is it not showing up here? All right, so let's go to audio because I freaking. All right, default. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I don't know what the hell happened. Someone. You suck at it. That's true. Is it still cutting out? I don't know what the hell, man. This is. I do this with my videos down, but hair is red. Hair is red. Yep. It's not cutting out anymore. Dude, this like we're freaking 31 minutes in this. This whole thing's just been a cluster. That's all right though. It's fun. All right, I can hear you fine. All right, so Charlie Handball can hear me fine. Pulverizer, and Murray actually, because we don't care about pulverizer. Sounds all right. Well, it seems okay. I'm not sure what happened. All good now. All right. Well, Ron was saying it's choppy too. All right, right on, says Dave. All right, cool. Did you ever post about the prime cap distribution, Dave? A Fuster Cluck, yes. Fun for who? uh, oh my goodness. There's only Celtic says payback. That's right. That's right. He's getting me back. He said you can make fun of Connecticut. What did Celtic do to my audio? Yeah, well, he's freaking. You can make fun of Connecticut. Do you reset your router every couple weeks? How many times I got to tell you this? I do not reset my router every couple weeks. Probably it's a drunken Christmas party. Yeah, 100%. We got this in here. All right, so that's good. It's not full helmets, if you know what I'm saying. Last thing we need is a big old helmet party on Christmas. Oh my goodness. All right. So anyway, going back to this chart, I just want to point out the reason why expenditures go down a lot of times is for two reasons. One, you can see entertainment dropping. Right? The reason entertainment drops, why? Because people get bored and they just say, "I'm just going to stay at home. I don't want to do the same things." Interesting. Donations, miscellaneous, and other. You can see it goes up by $600. Donations, miscellaneous, and other goes up. Now, does this mean that everybody? Remember, these are averages. Averages. All right. Averages. Any new thoughts on the barbell? Yeah, dude. Wait till my. I'm telling you, man, it's coming. It's coming. Unrelated tonight's. I wish inflation numbers were broken down by state because California, Illinois, New York is skewing the numbers, in my opinion. If you actually go on BLS, they do break that down by state. Actually, it's kind of well. I shouldn't say it like that. BLS has some data that's based on the state. I can't say specifically inflation, but it's very interesting. Dental expenses can be extremely high for seniors whose teeth will go bad in old years. Some Medicare Advantage plans offer coverage. And that's why we always want to default to Medicare supplement as opposed to Medicare Advantage if we can afford it for sure. Lots of new thoughts on the barbell. Absolutely. Coming. Ooh, Harry says dental is cheap if you pay in cash. Interesting. Why does housing go down? All right, my man says housing should not go down. Interesting. Why would housing go down? Anyone want to take a gant? I hope the audio is still working. Why would housing go down? Who wants to take a thought on why housing would go down? Anyone remember? These are averages, by the way. Taxes, electric, water, houses. Is the house okay? Now, my man here is saying house is paid off. Is the house paid off for the average person in this? All right, thanks. Oh, remember, it's not. Trump mandates house prices. You start to go back to that place. No, a lot of people actually pay off their mortgage. And as such, cost of housing, which is part of the expenditure, goes down. Right? So the cost of housing goes down because that's part of the expenditure. That's just what happens, man. And so when a guy who's 67 years old pays off 30, what's the price of prime cap, Dave? So yeah, $30 distribution on what's the price? I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. So a couple things are going on here. I mean, you know me, I know factually that people spend more as they get older, but a couple of reasons for that in the household thing, your house is paid off, your car loans are paid off, your freaking husband died. All right. So all these three things happen. But we see increase in charitable contributions. All right. We know that is happening. We also see less entertainment costs as well. So what all that means is people are freaking, again, they're living they're more content of being at home, man. All there is to it. More content of being at home. And as such, they just don't spend as much. Now, with that said, and I talk about I don't have the book here, my book, Relax and Retire, just because the average amount of charitable contributions is going up, remember, it's average. So my man, we got two charitable contributions from Harry and Clint. They gave me $55 tonight. God bless you guys. Much obliged. How much has Pulverizer ever given me? None. So we got 3 divided by 55. So if we add it, divide or whatever, $18 each. So Pulverizer said, "Hey, I gave on average $18 each." I said, it's not as bad as I thought. $30 distribution, 188. So Pulverizer said, "Hey, I gave $18. I said, "No, you didn't." Well, that's the average. That's a 16% distribution that prime cap had. Yeah. So there you go. 16%. Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha. It's 215 when they paid that out. All right, guys. So 30 divided by 215. That's a 14% distribution. Still pretty cool, quite a bit. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say here. I'm trying to say these are averages. Averages skew things to the outliers. So you always got to be careful of that. But with that said, I hope you know this now that I'm going to come here. So what we're going to do. The whole thing is just, what the hell happened to Martha? Where's Linda when I need her? Oh, man. All right. I give the charity your kitchen as nice as my kitchen. Oh, there's my marker. All right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say we got Pulverizer, right? We're going to call Pulverizer. Now we know Pulverizer. He lives large. So Pulverizer says, "I need $80,000 a year to live on. I need $80,000 a year to live on." Hey, Ray, man, I appreciate all y'all give me money. I do. I feel guilty for this. And dude, I'm just in my nice kitchenette that Pulverizer wishes he could live here. He's begging me, "Can I live with you, Josh?" I'm like, "No." But I appreciate you, Marie. Man, Harry, Clint, freaking all you guys giving me money or not. Ted sending me some freaking chocolates. I appreciate every single one of you. I feel guilty for it. I can't lie to you. I do. I feel guilty. I don't have imposter syndrome. I just feel like you guys are my friends, and I literally, you guys are my friends, and I'm gonna start crying in a second. But I just it's appreciated. But tell you what I tell Ori, just say thank you. Well, thank you. Tom, I'm banning Tom for stupid. Tell me what to do, stupid Notre Dame stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna tell Tom what to do, which is freaking, burn his diploma. I wonder if Tom even has a diploma. I bet he doesn't. I bet Tom's like got his diploma from Matchbook University. You youngins don't understand. You could get a diploma from a matchbook. You know what I'm saying? My dad got his. He married people because he got his whatever it's called, thing to marry people legally in the state of Maine from a matchbook. They all responded. Locals noticed I went out today. I said, donate at live today and join the pool party at my house. Let's see. We got. I think it's hard to understand charities, says Penelope. Like how much goes to actual mission, how much goes to see it, man? 100%. That's why we got just guys. They all got to start being taxed. It's crazy. They got to start being taxed just like any regular business. You can say, hey, as long as your donations are less than $1 million, you're not going to tax you. That's fine. I don't care. But when you start getting up there, like guys are, man, it's still going out. The audio is still not that good. All right, so let's go look at Polby here. Dude, I have one that works, man. It's a good one. It works. Every single video I do on this down here is this. I don't know why it's not connected on this stupid freaking StreamYard. I was going to say that, but I was afraid I'd be put in timeout. All right. So you can't, the audio is not that good anymore? All right. Let's see, there's Harry. Freaking. All right. All right, so we're going to look at Polvy. Much mods are not safe here anymore. All right, so Polvy's he's 80,000 a year to live on. Just use that for example. We're going to say he's 55 years old. All right, he's single because no one wants to marry Polvy. He's going to get $2,500 a month in Social Security. All right, so that's 30,000 a year. So for simplicity, audio's all right, good. Glenn Burr says sounds good. Well, Ron Nelson. Yes, I don't care what Ron Nelson 3665 says. No, no one cares. All right, good. Glenn Byrne, we appreciate you. Tell Ron Nelson to get a freaking some ear things, whatever they're called. Freaking, I'm talking about for deaf people. Anyway, so he's good. So when he is, I'm just assuming this will go up with inflation. Not go up with inflation. I'm just assuming. Hey, thanks, Dick. After I donated to charities recently, I got bombed with written correspondence for additional donations. Yeah, 100%, man. That's what they do. They want you to donate so they can just hit you up all the time. That's why they say just give us $1, because $1 will say, yeah, I can't hear me when it turns to the board. Okay. How about now, Penelope? I know you're in California. Can you hear me now? What we're going to do is just going to bring it to you then. All right. So we know by the time he's 65, he'll need $50,000 from his portfolio. All right. Taking a lot of assumptions here. Wait until you make a political donation. What, man? 100% Harry. I can't believe I gave $250 to Ted Cruz in 2014. And I'm solicited from every freaking swinging dick there is in the GOP. It's embarrassing. Anyway, so check this out. So we take this 50,000, we divide by 0.05. And I don't know what the hell it is, so I give him a trusty calculator. And I think it's 50,000 divided by 0.05. That's $1 million. All right, so just this alone, we need $1 million. That's this alone. Lots of assumptions going on here. That's for when Polvy hits 65 and he takes Social Security. His Social Security is be $2,500. We need $1 million to cover this 50,000 we need from the portfolio. 50,000 we need. All right. But how much does he need for the 10 years when he needs $800,000 to cover that 80,000 he needs from 55 to 65? So he needs to spend 80,000 a year. He needs 1.8 million. But does he? Does he need 1.8 million? The answer is unequivocally not, because we know that this $80,000 a year that he's going to need isn't going to be $80,000. It's not going to be adjusted for inflation. It's going to go down in value. How am I mean it's going to go down in value? Because I just showed it to you. And we showed it through BLS consumers. We showed in my book, audio muscles periodically, whenever direction he's facing. Oh, man. All right. Yeah. Well, I'll redo this tomorrow on a video, but I'm just going to knock it right here tonight. And I guess I don't know why the audio is so bad. I wonder if it's because I tried to use a mic and screwed everything up. Yeah. Anyway. All right. So what we're doing here is we're saying we need $1 million. Hopefully y'all can still hear that. Assuming that $80,000 is what he's going to spend between 65 when he dies. But it's not. It's not going to be $80,000 he's going to spend from 65 to 75 to 75 to 85. It's going to go down. It's going to go from $1 million, 80,000, well, $1 million, but it's going to go 80,000 to 70,000 to 60,000, and so on. Because he has no debt, right? Povey can retire because he has no debt, drives an old car, and has a pension. And this is for a single guy spending $80,000 a year. Not likely to happen. But anyway, so the issue is right here at 65, after he burned through this first 10 years of retirement at $80,000 a year, hey, Jill, haven't seen you around these parts for a while, Jill. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. I always love that. Anyway, fantastic. Jill. Anyway, where I'm going with this is this $80,000 he's spending now, and when he's first retired from 55 to 65, he's not going to keep spending that when he gets older. He's not. How much he's going to spend, I don't know. But if I'm sitting there saying, okay, I got $800,000, I need $80,000 a year for my next 10 years, I'm saying I'm going to retire unequivocally if that's what I think I'm going to spend. As a single guy, probably won't. But anyway, so then we're going to say, okay, so what if he spends $60,000 from 75 to 85, and then $50,000 from 85 and beyond? All right. So now we're going to spend. 1 second. We're going to spend 80,000. 70,000 from 65 to 74. So that's going to be $700,000. Well, I'm sorry, it's going to be $700,000. He's going to spend $60,000, and he's going to spend $50,000 for 5 years. We'll say $250,000. So his total expenditure would be 13, 14, 15, $1.55 million over the course of his retirement from 65 until he's 90 years old. All right, so he needs $800,000 to spend for the first 10 years while he's retired, and then he's going to need $1.55 million to spend over the next 25 years. But of that $1.55 million, he's going to get $30,000 times 25 years, so he'll get 35 times 30. He's going to get $1.05 million in Social Security. So he only needs $450,000. He needs to generate $450,000 of his own. That's it. $450,000 of own. What age does this person retire and take Social Security? Joe, I happen to retire at 55 and take Social Security at 65. All right, so he needs $450,000. That's it. I mean, that's not a huge amount of money that he'll need to cover these years without years. And I'll do a better video of this tomorrow when I get the better audio and all that stuff. But that's not really that hard. Now, again, the first 10 years, he's going to need money. There's no two ways around that. He's going to need money. And I just use an 80,000 because Povey has a good lifestyle. He likes to freaking, bet and gamble and the whole thing and go to Las Vegas and, go to the strip clubs and whatnot, the male strip clubs. Anyway, so I'm just saying he's this. So we know for a fact from 55 to 65, if he's spending $80,000 a year, he doesn't have any Social Security kick. We know he's going to need these $800,000. And again, we're not adjusting this for inflation or anything like that. We're just not. We're not assuming expenditures go down, go up. We're just saying, hey, this is what the money is going to need. Why do I care if I run an IRA at 90 years old? I won't be going anywhere. We'll still be at 100%, Ted. And I was like, the guy's talking, it wasn't this guy's another guy talked to this week, he and his wife. I said, let's just put this way. Worst case scenario, he had a uh, he had a pension from something. It wasn't huge. I'll say 30,000 a year. I can't remember. Let's just say worst case scenario, he had a pension of 30,000 a year. Between he and his wife, Social Security is 50,000 a year. So worst case scenario, your house is paid for. You're 87 years old. All your money's gone down, and you got $80,000 a year of income. Basically, going to be almost all tax free, and might spend 5,000 bucks on income tax. That's 75,000 bucks a year, man. Geographic arbitrage is available. Also, I know a guy who lives in Massachusetts who plans on moving to rural Ohio. Yep, yep, dude. Ohio is. I'm a fan of Ohio. It's just too. I love Ohio. Been through there once. I just remember seeing these little towns, which I very, very much love. It's just too gray. I don't mind it. My wife would go freaking crazy though. What I'm saying. And so anyway, I was talking to these guys, and they're like, "So the worst case scenario, all your money runs out. You're living off 80,000 a year in Social Security with no debt. I'm sorry, that's not that hard to get by on. Just not." Oh, Glenn Burr gave me 1999. Thanks, Glenn. You're the man. I don't care what Miss Purse is. Anyway, and so I'm just saying, it's like I just don't get it, man. I mean, I'm not saying, and that's just assuming this guy never ever works again, or Polvy doesn't ever get a job again. So we got to cover the first 10 years, but after that, it's like, how much you really need? And I haven't done a present value calculation on that $450,000. I haven't done that. I'm sure we can do that. I do off the top of my head. How would you do a present value? I got to think of that. But anyway, what I'm saying is, this is how you do it. You say, I got enough money to cover you for the next 10 years. When Social Security kicks in, I'm going to take Social Security at 70, at 65. Hey, Codfish. Hold up, Pablo. Cover Pablo. Stay for the finance tips. And then I'm freaking just, yeah, I might need to cut back at some point. But don't forget, too, if you have a house, you can take a reverse mortgage on it. And I don't know if Sergio is still here. But the nice thing about reverse mortgage is you can take a reverse mortgage line of credit at 62 and let that puppy just grow and grow and grow. I'm telling you, man, there's no way they're going to keep the reverse mortgages the way they are. No way. There's so much equity out there. The federal government is on the hook for all these reverse mortgages that could be issued. If people start taking advantage of reverse mortgages the way they should, the federal government is going to clamp on that, man. They're going to clamp on it. This is a game theory 100% game. If there is no people taking advantage of the reverse mortgage, the federal government doesn't have to worry about the risk that they're incurring with a reverse mortgage. If people start taking the reverse mortgage, the federal government's got to clamp down on it because they're having too much risk, too much exposure. So as long as people don't take advantage of the reverse mortgage, the federal government has to worry about, hey, what's up, man? But the federal, they call me Guelo. Guelo. I tell my kids about I'm a Guelo. It means the white devil in China. It's Cantonese. Is what they call it. I'm a Guelo, white devil. A pale man is what it's called. A pale man. Ohio's going to flat tax of 2.75 on the first 26,000 tax exempt as is Social Security. Yeah, look at that, man. So based on Ohio's low income tax, very low property tax, if memory serves. I didn't call you that. I want you to know a term. I know you didn't call that. I don't know. I hope I didn't say you did. I am a Guelo. I like it. Yeah, that's my way of taking ownership of what the Chinese people want to call me negatively. Um, I'm going to clownfish. I'm going to take right now. Don't come here for the ability to do a video and sound check. What did sound check? Oh, yeah, right. Jill says I hate. Wow, Jill, that's not a very nice thing to say. Whoa. Jill says I hate. Wow. Okay. I'm not sure. Jill hates clownfish. Jill hates shrimp. What does Jill hate? Wow. Jill hates being called a Guelo. Oh, I hope. Whoa, Jill is like very uh, up and down here today. Bipolar. I hate. I hope. Wow. Wow. Oof. Bipolar. What do? You hate or you hope, Jill? Very. It depends on the county you live in for the property tax. We're the second highest property tax in Ohio. Yeah, but being the second highest property tax in Ohio doesn't necessarily mean I know. Anyway, so the point being is I'm sitting there thinking they're gonna get rid of the reverse mortgages. If hate is nowhere near hope, though. Yeah, exactly. HATE That's a good point, Polvy. Yeah, what's that about, Jill? Look at that. HOPE and Jill's HATE. Damn, Jill, you got busted. Busted. I pay 8 grand. Well, wow. Yeah, well, yeah, that's pretty 8 grand on 400,000. No way. That's 2% a year, Harry, Andrew. You pay 2% a year? No, dude, that's no way. Alright, no way. Forsyth County, by the way, Forsyth County, Georgia, once you're 60, I just learned this from a client I was dealing just 2 days ago. Once you're 65 in Forsyth County, Georgia, which is one county north of me, you don't pay the bulk of the property tax. A lot of counties in Georgia, once you hit 65, you don't pay the bulk. You don't pay the school tax and all that stuff. Um, Jill says, "I hope Indiana reduces tax from 5.25 in my county." Your county has its own individual tax rate? Lucas County is insane. Oh, dude, that's freaking crazy. What's the biggest city in Lucas County? Jill pays for yeah, that's more like it, about 1 and a quarter. Dude, Lucas County, what the hell, dude? That's what's in Lucas County? Steers and queers, steers and clears. And I don't see with horns there, Andrew, Toledo. 2%. Freaking nuts. Okay, okay, gotcha. Was your local, but your county has a local income tax? Yeah, rich people problems. All right. So anyway, I'm sitting there, if I'm 55, right? Because the whole point of this was talking about a man the other day who's not even 55. And I was like, dude, he's got rental income. Doesn't have a huge portfolio, but a sizable portfolio. He's got yeah, I don't want to get but he's got freaking I'm just like, you got this annuity and rental incomes. He just he spends pretty good money. I mean, he's a single guy who wants to go travel. Nicest guy ever. I'm just like, he's like, I was like, why don't you just, worst case scenario, you're living off your rents and you're living off your freaking social security at some point. And he emailed me today. He goes, dude, I'm pumped after our conversation. Hey, Paul Delgado. Right on, Paul. Look at it's my family. The kid made Appalachian State Chancellor's List this summer. One more semester. Mom and I are very proud. Right on, Paul. You're a legend. Legend in your own mind. That's good, Paul. Appalachian State. They call it Appalachia. Like latchkey kids, not Appalachia. Suburban Cleveland. Look at this. Ron Nelson, 4,800 bucks on 300,000. Okay, well, I take back what I said about Ohio. That's freaking nuts, dude. Yeah, well, Illinois kills you, property tax, but the issue is they don't tax income once you're retired. So from an income tax perspective, Illinois is quite good. From a property tax perspective, it sucks donkey ball. People in Cook County up in Chicago totally get those. Sucks for them. Appalachia, Appalachia, yep, Appalachia, yep. What I'm saying. And aren't Browns in the Cuyahoga County or the Cleveland Browns? Aren't they trying to get some new fancy schmancy good time rock roll dome stadium? Here it says, I feel cheap and dirty only paying 1,100 bucks on $275,000 house. Montgomery County, Maryland has a local tax back in Maryland. I was just up in Montgomery County. I was at the old White Flint Mall. I can't remember how long you've been there, but back in the day, I got arrested one time when I was 18, 17 years old in the White Flint Mall in Bethesda. That's like the rich kid mall. That was rich people. It's all gone now. It's crazy. I could not believe it. It's all gone. White Flint Mall is stunned. We went to Pinstripes. We actually, it was too long of a wait, so we went down in Bethesda, right over by where the White Flint Mall was. It's crazy. Dome project is underway. They freaking suck donkey balls, man. I can't stand these people. All with government money, I'm sure. And then now freaking Chicago or the Bears are trying to use Indiana to negotiate so Chicago pays for their stadium. So on gross income, minus 1,000 deduction for single, no dependents, max of 2,500 for property tax deduction. Yeah, they all suck. And then these colleges, Yeah, if you're doing SEHD, definitely doing a Roth unequivocally, dog. Look, uh, shh, 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 shh. It's not, it hasn't been. Shh. Tax, yeah, yeah. Well, because they have no state income tax, so they never got hose you there. Yeah, if I'm doing a dividend payer, I'm doing it in a Roth if I can. Absolutely. All right. So anyway, 7 p.m. Oh man. Anyway, so the point being, going back to my man, I was like, dude, why don't you just? You heard about New Jersey School Board Montclair missing $20 million to secretly try to raise tax. Hey, I'm off to New York City tomorrow to visit my daughter, and then we're off to Gay Paris. So, hey, right on, Ted, for a wedding on. Oh, freaking Ted, that's fantastic, man. Safe travels, your brother. Let us know what's going on in Paris, Stan, would you please? Yeah, I wouldn't have SCHD in my brokerage account. Too much dividends that are distributed from that. I mean, it depends if you're in the 12% tax bracket. If you're that's fine. If I'm working, I'm not going to have SCHD in my brokerage account. I'd rather have it in my Roth. Or if I have an IRA, I put it in my IRA. The last thing we need is to generate dividends inside a brokerage account that is taxable. Unless, frankly, if you're still in 12% tax bracket, it's great. It's all tax free. Well, she's marrying a Muslim, so that's Paris is basically the northern version of Mecca. So of course you get married in Paris. That's I was able to get my tuck. Hey, right on, Ted. Good stuff. Merry Christmas, everyone. I'll be in Texas for a week. Right on, Marie. All right. Anyway, so we'll close this up because it's been an audio cluster. What's everybody got going on for next week or so? So we're gonna be. We used to eat at the Cheesecake Factory at White Flint. You are black. I told you, Paul. You're black. You're half black. Blacks love the Cheesecake Factory for some weird reason. It's strange, man. They love the Cheesecake Factory. David Buss was also there. They tore down Lake Forest Mall in Gaithersburg as well. I think London's worse than Paris. Ooh. Anyway, so we're just chilling here. I'm taking Liam next, the 29th. Is it Monday? The Rams, Lee, Liam, and Calvin are going to the Rams Falcons game. I think it's Monday night. We were going to go see Georgia Tech and BYU at the Pop Tart Bowl in Orlando, but it's too far. And then we're going to go to, I guess, the Hawks game is against the Celtics. Yeah, go ahead, Charlie. I'm going to host. Yeah, right on. That's good stuff, Jill. Good for you, man. I'm if I use retirement distributions to help my kids pay for kids' college, and I was told I won't pay. Oh, I don't know about that, man. If I use retirement distributions, I'll pay for my kids' college. I don't believe that at all. You don't void the 10% penalty. Well, let's just ask Grok. Grok will tell us. I don't think that's true. I could absolutely be wrong. Been wrong like once in my life. Can you take IRA distributions out to pay for college tuition if you're under 59.5 and not get penalized? Let's see what Grok says. Raise a glass here, right on, Ted. Hey, Josh, I want to be like you when I grow up. How do I start on the honest financial planner path? In terms of like getting experience or something like that, or talk to me, man. What we talk? I like to cook. Well, Jill, hell, I like to eat. Why don't you freaking notice that Jill doesn't invite me? Jill's like, I don't want you because you're gonna be anti-Trump. Jill's like, you like Kamala, heals up Harris. Anyway, I need to hear. So, how do I start on the honest financial planner path? I mean, you want to like in terms of learning the business or what? So let's see what Grok says. You can take distribution IRA to pay for qualified college tuition and other higher education without incurring the 10% penalty. Qualified, hey, right there. There it is, man. I guess it's true. If Grok says it, it can't be wrong. Qualified higher education expenses include tuition. All right, so I stand corrected. The expenses must be for your spouse, you, your children, or grandkids. All right, man, that's freaking fantastic. That's got to be a new rule, right? Is that a new rule? I don't remember that in the old days. And I say the old days pre-2017. Yeah, been in place since. All right, there you go. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. What's up, JJ Max? Earnings are subject to regular income tax if under 59.5, though. Yeah, I'm good. I don't think anyone's. What are we talking about, brother? I'm in construction right now, trying to career. So okay. So the first, right on. Just join the Freemasons to become a better man. Yo. Just join the Freemasons. They'll fund you with all the clients you need as long as you support the Freemason taking over the world scenario. I thought my channel was all about retirement. I never once said that, but it's all good. Me at 30 watching you here. Right on, man. You got it, Charlie. Anyway, well, you told me. I didn't tell you, brother. I told you nay. But I appreciate you being here. Sup, Matt, or JJ Reddick. What the hell was I just talking about? Oh, so here's what can join the Starbucks strike instead. I got to change my hair color. And Freddie Fast Eddie would like that because he's attracted to me and my gray hair. All right, anyway, so if I want to get in this business, all right, and I want to do real financial planning, I'm telling you right now, the best thing you can do is work in a bank initially. I'm just telling you right now, go work as a platform rep in a bank. I don't know how much money. They probably make $40,000 a year or something like that. Dude, the experience you'll get in 2 years of being a platform rep in a bank, it will blow your mind that you could use for other things in the future because everyone has debt. Everyone has credit cards, car loans, mortgages, home equity lines of credit. That way you have ability to talk about these things. And you don't have to say, I don't know that much like fair market value, loan to value. I don't need you know how to talk about that, and you know what's good and what's bad. And that gives you a starting point on how to talk to people. Everyone has a bank. Everyone has a time deposit account. That's a CD. I'm drawing a blank with a liquidity account. It's demand deposit account's a checking account. Everyone has, hey, headed to my old stomping grounds in Maine next week. Hey, where's he at, Fred? Right on, man. Everyone, who's Steve Gutenberg? I don't know who the hell is that. Sounds like a guy. Stone cutters are better than Freemasons. Anyway, so I'm telling you, my man, Mr. Whittam, work in a bank for 2 years and just put your head down, keep your nose clean. South Portland, all right, gotcha. And that's still Cumberland County, which is just crazy. And you'll just say, I'm going to do this for 2 years. I'm going to learn everything, a single thing I can. They'll give you probably training on selling annuities, which is a good training to have. Steve Gutenberg was a police academy. Okay. The future is not guaranteed, says Tom. 100%, brother. It is not guaranteed in the least. Anyway, so when you learn this, you'll learn kind of like what other financial planners are not talking about. So in my experience, the life insurance guys were better financial planners by far than the investment guys. I'm just telling you right now. I never went the life insurance route, all right? But the life insurance guys knew more about estate planning. Joining the Freemasons is not funny. It's a joke. I just made it funny, and I made a joke about it. So I'm not sure why we're getting all defensive here, but it's pretty funny. What's up? What y'all doing? How dare you? Why do you say it's not funny? It's not a joke. You can't laugh. It'd be like saying, join the Jesuits. That's not funny. That's not a joke. I'm like, okay. I think it's pretty funny. We all going to the Freemason meeting? This guy just said right here, I was making fun of joining the Freemasons. The guy got very mad at me. Yes. Yeah, full house, kiddos home from college. Yep, we're all going to church, all 6 of us, for the first time in a long time. Well, so what was going on? Dude, I got Freemason friends. I got many of them. I think it's funny. I got tons of Masons do all kinds of good work. It's that's why we hold our hands like this inside, like the hidden hand trick with the Freemasons. It's funny, man. If you join the Freemasons, you're exempt from the, not you, Harry, but the other guy. You're exempt from the Epstein files. It's kind of like join the Catholics and bow down to the vicar in Rome. I'm not offended. All right, well, good. I didn't think he would be. I left my crap hill job 6 years ago. Don't work longer than that. You have to, folks, 100%. Oh, but you're obviously eating. You got to laugh at yourself, Tom. It's amazing how many people don't. You're obviously eating freaking scraps in a van down by the river. Will AI robo? I'm not worried about those at all, to be honest. And they'll affect in terms of investing only. All right. So let me tell my story. So when I was remember I started at Vanguard for 2 years. And that was 3 years. And that was great training. I knew a lot more than a lot of the investment guys that I went to Schwab after that. And I'll never forget the Vanguard training I had was freaking first rate relative to what I was dealing with the people at Schwab. So a lot of Schwab guys came to Schwab because they were in the brokerage business. And when you go into the brokerage business, it's just sell at all, sell. There's no training. It's just sell. Now, it might not be like that. That was in the 90s. Might not be like that anymore, but it was back then. So when I went to Vanguard, it wasn't sell. It was basically, this is how we do IRA. The training was impeccable for a fresh-faced kid out of college. It was fantastic. When I went to Schwab, we took a lot of guys because you had to get Series 7 because I was, if they wanted you to basically work on the trading desk. It's just a trading cube, but we call it the trading desk. Anyway, so you had to get a Series 7. So you're in this program with all these other guys who already had their Series 7s, all right, because they worked in, wirehouses and stuff like that. And they didn't know shit, pardon my French. They didn't know anything. I was like, dude, what? I couldn't believe it. I was like, all these guys are, I already have my Series 7. I don't need to study for that. And because they all thought they're all that in a bag of chips. And they sucked. I was like stunned. I was like, they didn't even know what a Roth IRA was. I couldn't, this back in the late 90s. So Roths were new, but they weren't that new. When I went to Schwab, it was 1999, 2000. I was stunned how they didn't know anything. It was crazy. And then I went to banking after that. And that was, I learned everything about reading a tax return, because I had to do loans. I had to do equity line of credit. I had to do mortgages, the whole thing. I had to do small business loans. And you had to know a tax return. And so you look at the tax documents and say, hey, how can I present this to the underwriter? Because if I just throw a crap out the underwriter, I'm going to get declined. And you had to do a certain level of loan production. And so you basically go out, you make sales calls on businesses and stuff. And I never did first mortgages. I just did businesses, loans for businesses. And the second mortgage, home equity lines of credit. But you had to make a case for why this should be approved through an underwriter because you weren't underwriting your own loans. So you had to know how to read the tax returns. And business tax returns are different than personal tax returns, but you had to know both. And with taxes, you put back amortization, you put back interest on the cash flows and stuff. And just stuff you learn in banking that I still use to this day. That's why I love the tax side so much, because that's what makes me a better financial planner in terms of, just promoting myself to people, because I'm not intimidated by the tax stuff. I'm just not. I don't know everything about it. Like I didn't know about the freaking 10% thing my man Handball Charlie just talked about. Man, that stuff's easy to learn. I mean, you can just look it up, no big deal. But you got to know what you're looking for. You see what I'm saying? On the 1040s, on Schedule C's, all this stuff. And if you don't know, then you're going to say, go talk to this guy. Then your clients will be like, why would I even talk to you? And if the reason he's going to talk to you is because you're a better investment advisor, you're just not. It's impossible to be a better investment advisor than the market. It just is on any consistent basis, especially if you're charging a fee. So the only way to be a good financial planner is not to be an investment guy. It's not. Because being an investment guy inherently is a losing proposition. He inherently cannot be a good investment guy relative to what some guy can do on his own. You just can't. Oh, Warren Buffett. It drives me crazy when I hear this. The issue is the net investor, active manager, will underperform the markets. It's just basic math net of fees. It just is basic. And Bogle talks about this, the common sense of mutual funds. Very easy book to read. And so if you're going to be a good financial planner, well, do friggin' financial planning. And then going back to what my man, the Celtic Spirit asked, and again, if you weren't here, Celtic Spirit, I didn't mean to ban you. I was just goofing off when you said about the college football playoff. But anyway, will robo-advisor takes over? No, robo-advisors won't take over. because people say, why would I even want a robo-advisor? I.e. a Vanguard thing where I just put an index fund. So as the guys talked to 2 days ago, and I hope you all can still hear me, I would be a great financial advisor. People just need to do the opposite of what I do. Yeah. I quit my crap hill job 6 years ago. Best decision ever, man. Right on. Oh, 100%. I don't see how any advisor is worth the ongoing fee. I'm fine with a flat fee based on advisor. 100%. They're not worth the fee. They inherently can't be relative to the market as a whole. It's just a basic math. In football, there can be no team on average who's better than 8-8. None. Well, now stupid 9-8 or 8-9. But in NFL, back when they had a 16-team schedule, no team could be better than 8-8 on average. It was impossible. Why? Because that's the way the thing. You have a winner and you have a loser. Every team on average is going to be 8-8. All right. If you say, well, the average team is 9-7, it's just not true. So then you're like, well, who's better than the average? Is the Patriots? Well, based on previous years, you could make that argument. Sure. Will they guarantee to be? No. But investments, even worse. We know who would be better than average is based on the fees they pay. The more fees you pay, the more likely to be below average. Anyway, yeah, what I'm saying, hey, what's up, Raymond? Right on, look at my man Raymond Durst crushing. Damn, Raymond, you got a good-looking wife there. What the hell? Man, nothing wrong with you, Raymond. You ain't all that in a bag of chips, but your wife is. Jeez, good job. What about, now I'm starting to think maybe that's Raymond's daughter instead. If that is, I take that back, Raymond. Oh, sorry, buddy. Maybe that's your daughter instead. I don't know. But why can't I just shut up? All right. Investments are really the least important part of financial planning. 100%. And that's the thing with banking is you'll learn the tax stuff and you'll get to understand you like, all right. So anyway, so then I went from banking, I went to USAA. I had my CFP, had 5 years experience in the business as a banker, 5 years experience of business as an investment guy at Vanguard and Schwab. And I had my CFP. I thought I was all that in a bag of chips. So I knew banking stuff back and forth in terms of small business banking, real attack, 1040 and all that. When I went to USAA, though, I was stunned how little I knew about estate planning. And that's where the life insurance guys the life insurance guys were the best estate planners there were. Because for a life insurance guy to get you to buy life insurance, it can't be couched up in this idiotic sales pitch of, like I see on LinkedIn, IULs, is that what's called? The investment unit? No, whatever they call it, index annuity, whatever the hell it is. Life insurance as a way, or index annuities, life insurance as a way to beat the market, a way to beat a Roth or something like that. It's freaking idiotic, dude. These insurance guys, that's stupid. A good life insurance guy will couch it in estate planning techniques, ILITs, life insurance trust, or irrevocable life insurance trust. You don't really need that anymore. But in the old days, you did when the estate planning was 675 if you had an estate over 675 and you weren't married, anything above 675 was being taxed at 55% if memory serves, 45 to 55%. It's crazy. Those days are pretty much gone now, but still, you still need to know ILITs, Q-tip trust, and all this stuff. And I didn't know anything. I didn't even know what a living trust was. I'll never forget that. I knew banking. I could freaking rock the socks off banking, but when it came to financial planning, when it came to estate planning, I didn't know crap, dude. It was embarrassing. And all the life insurance guys, I just sat there like a sponge just listening to these people. I said, I didn't know any of this. I didn't know what a living trust was. And Intervivo's trust, scared the hell out of me. I said, no, you should go talk to somebody who knows estate planning. That's just a living trust. And once you know it, you're like, oh, that's it. It's like, but you got to know it. And so the life insurance guys, when it came to estate planning, were fundamental because they had to be. If you're going to buy a life insurance, you're not going to buy it because your whole life is going to give you 4.5% for 50 years. No one's buying that for that crap because a whole life insurance policy, while I love them, are expensive. No two ways around that. People are buying life insurance term because they want to protect their wives and kids. I get that. But term doesn't pay. It just doesn't. So if you're going to make a career in life insurance, you got to find a different way. And the way you do is packaging and estate planning. And now they actually have the life insurance components like MoneyGuard Pro, I think it's MoneyGuard. That's what I used to sell, which is life insurance couched in a long-term care thing, which is pretty sweet, man. I freaking love those policies. Very simple to understand, very simple to own. Still had to get underwritten. And they paid out very, very well for the broker, me. But you had to understand how to position it, and life insurance guys are good at that. Now, the old school life insurance guys, so I get paid in 3 ways. That's freaking embarrassing. Or the old guys would look through the obits and they say, Grandpa Smith has died. Is survived by his son, Joey Smith. And you send a letter to Joey Smith saying, hey, if you need any help on your estate. That's literally how life insurance guys used to make pitches. And some was actually pretty valid, frankly, because a lot of these guys didn't know what they're doing who got the inheritance. But they literally look through the obits and they'd send letters to Grandpa Jones was survived by Jamie and Johnny, and Jamie and Johnny get letters saying, hey, if you need any help with your estate, I'm here to help. Lawyers do the same thing. That's always kind of seemed creepy to me. But it's a pretty good way to do it. It was just kind of creepy. I never wanted to do that. The drawback about doing estate planning as a life insurance guy is actually, how do you make the pitch? All right. So at least with a banker is easy. You just go, hey, need a loan? Yeah. What's your current rate? 5. I can get you 4.5. You want, let me see what your tax return's like. I see if I can't get through. That's pretty easy sales pitch right there. I can save you $300 a month. All right. I'll see what you got. It's not going to hurt you. There's no fee until we close the deal. Easy. I don't want to say easy. It wasn't easy, but you can make that pitch pretty easily. Investments, a little bit harder. You say, hey, I got an investment that's averaged 15% a year for the last 10 years. You interested? I got a 5% tax-free municipal bond at University of Virginia. You interested? That was always easy to say, to pitch. And then some guys say, yeah, I use Vanguard. Or, yeah, I got my own guy. I'll talk to him about it. But what you're trying to do is just be in front of somebody who is ready to make a change and would go to you for investment guidance. And, that's why we had an inventory of bonds that were pretty interesting. University of Virginia tax-frees were always an easy sale. Hey, I got University of Virginia 5% tax-frees. Would you be interested? And you talked about it. Most people say, send me something, and you just can't get caught up in that send me something stuff because the inventory goes. It comes and goes. If they're not ready to buy now, then you're not going to have the inventory in 3 days. It'll be gone. Anyway, so that was kind of interesting. That was actually kind of fun to do, to be perfectly honest with you, but it wasn't building long-term financial planning. The insurance guys, on the other hand, would say, hey, yeah, they'd have to get deep with people on estate planning, and that takes longer, and the commission is quite high. Some of these very successful insurance guys are literally living on the beach. It's crazy. And right, more power to them, man. I mean, I freaking can't stand it, but hey, I know some insurance guys are making bank because they know how to make the pitch. They know how to close a deal. They know how to create the sense of urgency because your life is urgent. You could die tomorrow. And if you die tomorrow and you leave your wife this freaking clusterfuck of an estate plan, what's going to happen? Harder to do now with estate taxes so minimal in terms of the overall estate exemptions that we have. But what happens here? I know this is a long-winded answer because I love this stuff, dude. We need more qualified, competent financial planners. What happens here is when you're talking about these things that no one else will talk about, because everyone talks about investments, flip and do. When you start talking about Schedule C's, all right, for freaking self-employed people, when you start talking about insurance, when you start talking about people with rentals who don't have LLCs, don't even have an umbrella policies, that opens up a whole different path of conversation. And people start saying, like the guys just talked to the other day with the rentals, this guy right here, Polvy. It's like, dude, you got to get these. You got to make sure it's on your umbrella because he all had them. He didn't have them LLCs, had them owned individually, sole proprietorship. That's the wrong answer, man. I mean, it could be. I don't know. But it's like, you got a big umbrella to cover all these? He goes, well, I have one umbrella. I said, does your insurance company know about the other property? Because I think they do. I said, no, we can't think this. We have to know. If you get sued, you're liable to lose these properties, especially if it's a sole proprietorship or if you own individually. Can't do that. I mean, you can do it, but it's just the risk is huge relative to the ease to avoid the risk, umbrella policies, LLCs, and things of that nature. Anyway, the point being is when you start having these conversations, you're like, why do you don't even want to talk about investments because it's so friggin' boring, especially when you know for a fact you can't outperform the market. You just can't if you get charged a fee. Anyway, it's fun, man. And I've always loved this stuff. And when I went to USS, I'll never, ever forget. I was sitting in a training class next to this banker, an older lady, kind of heavy set. And she was talking about living trust. And I couldn't believe, I was setting up a living trust for this guy's CD accounts. I don't understand, but he wanted to do it. I said, you really need to do that? He goes, yeah. I said, okay. And I said, I can't. We have to break the CD because we're open up a living trust. It's a different account number. And I was like, I'll never forget that. I was like, I don't know what the hell this lady's talking about. And she wasn't a CFP. She wasn't a broker. She was just an old banker who knew her stuff. And I said, I don't know any of that crap. I'll never forget that. And so I remember sitting in class at Legg Mason. We had this young guy, a life insurance guy, and he was like, I was like, I'll never, big, tall guy, big, tall, like almost like Arab looking, good guy though. And I said, damn, I'll never, because after class I went up to him and said, dude, how do you, he was younger than me. I said, how the hell do you know all this? He goes, dude, I'm in life insurance. I got to know this. I didn't know what the hell an ILIT was. It's like, what the hell is that? Anyway, it's, now I know, you know, a Q-tip trust. What the hell is that? I didn't know. Freaking, then we had, grats and cruts and crats and grats and all this. I was like, dude, you're crazy. And I don't really get involved in that very much. A little bit with grats when I was back at USA, certainly with Q-tips and stuff, but you know, in terms of educating people about this stuff. But it's been 10 years since I worked at USA, so I don't know how that stuff really works. I know Obama was trying to get rid of grats. He probably should have, but he wasn't able to. Anyway, that's a long-winded thing, but it's fun, man. Lots to learn, and investments are the least important. Yeah. What about ties, Josh? Do you know ties? I don't get it. Yeah, right on. Just falling. That's my daughter. Oh, sorry, man. Well, don't take it wrong, Raymond. For an ugly guy, you got a good-looking daughter. Good for you. If it's his daughter, I am single, retired in my 40s, just saying. 100%. Yeah, let's look at Ray's daughter. There you go. Everybody look at Ray's daughter. Yeah, I know some people paying through the nose for terrible retirement planning. They're all my clients, Jilford neglected to say. Comprehensive retirement non-existent, and especially bad because people think it's being taken care of 100%. Universal. Obviously, people still falling for. Oh, dude, Fisher. Yeah, and some people love Fisher, man. It's crazy. I mean, I got clients who love them. And I said, look, the one thing I know about Fisher, they'll keep you on the. They won't forget you. That's just a fact. They will not let you just feel like you're not being. They're gonna freaking bombard you with like, come to this seminar, come there. I mean, they know how to keep in front of you. Well, a lot of people think the widow's tax trap is a con now. I'm seeing that more and more lately. I'm like, in fact, I was just getting in I just bashed a bunch of people in my own business because they were bashing other people in my business. And I said, so some CPA wrote this freaking, it pissed me off, dude. She wrote this thing on LinkedIn talking about how freaking the widow's tax trap is a fraud. She didn't say fraud. She says it's basically fake news to get investment advisors to generate more fees. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense at all. It's just stupid. And all these investment advisors were saying, yes, right, sister, that's right. This is, I was like, how would converting money into a Roth or using a Roth generate more fees? That doesn't make any sense. It's like the stupidest thing I've ever heard. It reduces fees because inherently you're losing assets when you're doing the conversion or you're not getting the tax deduction on the front end. It's like the stupidest thing. And I saw these guys that said, I'm calling you out, man. I called them out. So I'm calling this guy out, Andy, I'm calling that guy out, whatever his other name was, said, no, you shouldn't like this piece. This is bad. She's saying people in my business are creating this false thing to generate higher fees. I said, it's like the stupidest thing there is. And I hate this crap of like, oh, people in my business. Well, who? Name them. Who's doing this? Well, people. Who are these people? If there are people that are up to no good, knock them out. To name them. Because if people are saying about the widow's tax trap, it's a way to generate more fees. How do you, I said on the thing, I said, I would like to know how to do that. I'd like to know how to get higher fees by talking about Roth conversions. Tell me how to do that, because that sounds pretty fantastic. Freaking idiots. And they're just freaking pissed me off. I was like, this is what I hate about my business. Everyone's so quick. That guy's not good. Why? Because he charges commission. But I'm good because I'm a fiduciary. And I got my freaking thing like this. And I'm marching to the drum of fiduciaries, which is what we're so good. I'm like, who would you rather have, freaking fool? If I'm your mom, if I'm working with your mom, all right, would you rather have your mom with her $1 million pay me a front end commission of 2.5% with a 25 basis point trail on the front end, or pay 1% a year each and every year thereafter on the most likely an increasing asset fee? Which is more fiduciary minded to your mom, you freaking fiduciaries. We're marching like this. I'm like, screw you guys, man. I hate this freaking, those guys are bad. Those guys are good. Those guys are commissioned. They're bad. They got something to sell you. But those guys are good because they're fiduciaries. And I hate saying fiduciaries are bad too. And the thing is, I know a freaking crapload amount of people in this business. The vast majority are want to do well for their clients, but they still got to get paid. No one's not getting paid in the world, dude. No one's working for free. As long as you say how you're getting paid, it's fine. Man, the point being is like, it freaking pissed me off. I was like, and all of a sudden I know her because I know why. Because my man, Ed McQuarrie, Professor Emeritus from Santa Clara, he's partnered with clown freaking Bernstein. I said, Bernstein's a fool. Ed, I said, why are you attaching your flag to that guy? Guy's a clown. Ed, you're too good for this. I emailed him as a Professor Emeritus, and I said, Ed, what are you doing, man? Because it pissed me off because Ed's such a good guy. Anyway, I introduced Ed to Andrew Biggs, and Ed emailed back, goes, ooh, he's Josh, thanks for introducing me. Andrew, he's a, what do you say? He's a legit counterpoint or something like that. Foe, in a good way. He's a legit foe. I can't wait to say it, but he gave lots of props to Andrew Biggs. I said, because Ed, we read this stuff, dude. Your boy Bernstein, he's reading stuff from 2010 that's since been changed because the data has changed. And you're acting like it's like up to date. It's just not. It's bad stuff, man. I was reading some other thing. Who wrote that? There's economist, he posts something like, well, the numbers are from 2013, but it's probably the same as it is. I forgot what it was about, tariffs or something like that. I said, this guy's named Jeremy. I said, Jeremy, did you just read what you're citing? Because what you're citing is a dead link, first and foremost. Secondly, the other thing you're citing is from 2013. It was something about the taxes. I forgot what it was. I was like, kind of like these idiots on tariffs are inflationary. Well, the Tax Foundation says tariffs are inflationary. I said, did you read what the Tax Foundation did? There's a huge lie of omission in there. It's so freaking frustrating. It's like, because I get this all the time because I'm always debating people on tariffs. I said tariffs aren't just not inflationary. They said, well, the Tax Foundation says it is. I said, do you think this is the first time I read that article? I know what they're going to refer to. I know this. It's just not true. If you actually look at what the Tax Foundation wrote, they omitted what the Harvard study said, which is the tariff products have increased less than the non-tariff products. That's just a fact. It's a fact. The tariff affected products have increased less than the non-tariff affected products. Thus, you cannot sit there and say the Tax Foundation says, based on this Harvard report, that tariffs are inflationary when it says the exact opposite. And then we got this new study out of, I forgot who did it, that said tariffs, if anything, are deflationary, which is what I've always argued. Tariffs, in of itself, if anything, is more to shrink economic output than to expand it via inflation. But even that, we got 4 instances of massive tariffs in the United States, basically since the Civil War. And 2 went into a deflationary time frame, 1890. It didn't really hit until 1893. It certainly wasn't due to tariffs, but let's just say it was. And of course, Smoot-Hawley in 1930. All right, but when did the Depression start? Oh, well before 1930. But let's just say that was true. All right, let's say tariffs enhanced the depressions. We can make that argument. Okay, well, what happened in 1922 with the Fordney tariffs? 1922 was not depression. It was not depression. It was mass growth. What happened in 1897? The Dingley tariffs, mass growth. So much growth in 1897 that we then became the manufacturing mecca of the world. We overtook Britain because Britain went the free trade route. So if we have four sample size of 4, 2 were growth, 2 were depression, you would say, hey, it's certainly evidence is it's anything but inflationary. And they'll say, what's on the tariff goods now is what they're starting to say. That's just not what the Harvard study that all these idiots are referring to says. It says the exact opposite. The tariff products went up less, if hardly anything, relative to the freaking non-tariff products. I freaking hate that crap because I'm like, dude, this is idiotic. But they do it because people just don't read. And my man, Ed McQuarrie, I'm like, dude, Ed, Just read, man. Open up the freaking stuff and read. If you read the Social Security stuff, you can see they've changed from what you're citing before. Now, this had nothing to do with the widow's tax trap, but the widow's tax trap is the same guy. It's got Bernstein and Ed. And I'm like, dude, it's like there is a widow's tax trap. It's just a fact. Does it mean it's something you need to jump off a bridge about? No. But the facts are married filing jointly, $100,000 of income. All right, we're going to pay less tax than a single taxpayer with $80,000 of income. It's just fact. Is it a big of a deal? It might well be, depending on when that person, the husband dies, depending on what kind of income the wife has. It might be, might not be. Most of my clients, it's not that big of a deal. But to say it's a freaking scam, as these people are doing now, that's freaking idiotic. But just because they have PhDs after the name, freaking screw those guys, man. Piss me off. My professor for my CFP insurance class was a very successful life guy. Yeah, you probably want to keep in touch with him, man. That'd be a guy you'd want to keep in touch with. I actually did. I was a professor for CFP for life insurance class too, believe it or not. So I taught at VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University, for 1 or 2 semesters. I can't remember, for the life insurance class for the CFP course. Interestingly enough, it wasn't young people starting to become a CFP. It was actually mostly old people from Dominion Resources who wanted to learn about financial planning. And that was before I knew a damn about life insurance. I was kind of like their pitch hitter. Their normal guy had to take a leave of absence. So they needed somebody. And I was like, I'll drive. So I drove from Harrisonburg, Virginia to Richmond twice a week for 2 semesters as an adjutant. Made $3,000 a course. I only taught 1 course. I think I taught the same course twice. So I think it was 2 semesters. I think. Anyway, I think it was 2 semesters. But that was kind of a pain in the ass. But for $3,000, in hindsight, that was not good, worth time. But I did it. And I shuddered. I mean, look, I read from the book essentially, and I gave examples of buy term, invest, and rest. But little did I know how little I knew about life insurance. That might be why they never called me back. I actually knew they weren't going to invest. I would call me back because I knew the other guys could come back. But anyway, yeah. So that might be a guy you want to learn some from there, brother. Fisher Invest, that guy creeps me out. Kevin Fisher. No, is that his name? Kevin Fisher? What the hell's his name, man? I see him from when he used to be on Forbes and then Wall Street Week with Lou Rukeyser. Fisher. What the hell is it? It's not Kevin Fisher, is it? I forgot his name. All those cute ads draw the sheep in. Better read a bunch of books and watch YouTube, and someone can do it for themselves. Cute ads. It's sad how many of these financial planning firms are ripping off people. I don't know about that. I was going to ban him. Not Fish. What the hell is this? Some of you guys know his name. Fisher. Ken Fish. That's what it is. Ken Fish. That's right. Everyone says Ken. Oh boy, is my man. So this is the guy who got all offended, Harry, about me bashing on the Freemasons. So let's see what he's talking about. Annuities. Oh boy. 007, 0 wives, 0 kids, 7 figures. Yeah, but that's not fun. Edward Jones. All right. Okay. There he goes. Does not push high. All right. That's not so bad. That's not a bad thing to say. I thought you were going to be bashing annuities, saying all annuities have high commissions or high fees, because it's simply not true. But all right, what I'm saying. Let's see, Packers. That game's on tonight. I feel as we've been flirting with stagflation for the last 10 years. Steve Latham of CNBC had eCrow. He said tariffs would cause massive inflation, which was debunked on the most recent CPI. Did he say he was wrong? Here's Brad. Quit as soon as we can. I retired 3 years ago, the day I turned 60. I've since figured out that I could have had a retired a year, 100%, dude. Look at Brad, legend. It's not purely inflationary. It's just one tool that's been effectively used against the U.S. for decades. People. Josh is baloney. Just go to Ed Jones. You could. Even if I wasn't baloney, you could still go to Ed Jones. I don't know why these things are mutually exclusive. So if I wasn't baloney, don't go to Ed Jones? This guy's mad at me because I made fun of the Freemasons. You're not holding off the desire for anyone to join the Freemasons because you got to stick so far up your butt. My man Harry's doing that for sure, but you're not, man. It's time to live a little bit and laugh a little bit. Let go and laugh. What we would say is let go and let God. I think inflation tariffs work. Well, I mean, maybe. The issue with tariffs, though, is we want to see the expansion of things we need. Magnets, steel, these kind of things, all right? The whole point of tariffs wasn't just to tariff the hell out of everything. The whole point of tariffs is to say, look, we need to protect our domestic industries. That's the whole point of tariffs. And all these idiots, the David Ricardians, all right, who will say comparative advantage. All right, so this, I just want to point something out to y'all. All right, the comparative advantage folks of David Ricardo, because they use this all the time. It's so stupid. Let's go to Ricardo here. Hold on a second. Let me find it. Blink. I believe in right and wrong. I know where I belong. So here's David Ricardo. All right, there he is. This is from FEE, Foundation for Economic. I forgot. See, I'm FEE.org. What the hell's Foundation for Economic? I forgot, dude. I'm just losing my mind. All right, so that's Ricardo. What is Ricardo? So Ricardo is the fundamental beginning of comparative advantage. Comparative advantage means you grow cocoa beans, I grow pumpkins. I do it more efficiently than you could. You do it more efficiently than I could. So we trade and we're both better off. All right. That is comparative advantage. And then he would say at the same point, even if I grow pumpkins less efficiently than you do, I should still grow pumpkins because you're more efficient at growing cocoa. All right. So we should still trade then. You should still focus on the thing you're the best at. I should focus on the thing I'm the best at and trade. Comparative advantage. It's very sexy. Makes a lot of sense. But what does Ricardo say? Under a system of perfectly free commerce, each country naturally devotes its capital and labor to such employments as are most beneficial to each. This pursuit of individual advantage is admirably connected with the universal good of the whole. That is the foundation of comparative advantage and free trade. Under a system of perfectly free commerce, what do we not have? We absolutely, unequivocally do not have perfectly free commerce. None whatsoever. We've been the laughingstock of the world since freaking basically, I say it, Jimmy Carter. Actually, since World War II. But at least World War II were the only game in town. So we didn't want tariffs because we're like, look, we don't want you to put tariffs on our goods because no one else is building our stuff. You see what I'm saying? Or for some reason, we allowed Japan to do it so they could get their industry back. They said, oh, you can tariff us, Japan. We'll basically bite the bullet for you guys to get the industry back so the admiral doesn't come, whatever the hell's name is. We didn't mind that because we're the only game in town. All right, well, fast forward till the Reagan years, and all of a sudden, it's not the only game in town. Now we invited China to come compete with us. All right, never mind all the Vietnam, sweatshops and all this stuff too. And the point being, this isn't perfectly trade, so we have perfectly free commerce. We have tariffs going into there. We just been, again, the redheaded stepchild, and we've lost our steel making capacity. We've lost our magnet making capacity. We've had to protect our domestic circuit board capacity, silicon and stuff like this. It's insane. It's insane. And the free marketers you'll hear them say, Dave Ricardo, Dave Ricardo, Dave Ricardo. I'm like, what? Why are you doing this? Why are you pretending he did not say in perfectly free exchange? It's weird to me, man, because they all think that tariffs are inflationary. And I say, well, based on what? Well, Smoot-Hawley. I'm like, huh? Smoot-Hawley is the exact opposite of inflationary. Yeah, we have to accept our wrongs and move on. Trust me, dude. Yeah, right here, Jill. Fiduciaries that put dividend-paying mutual funds in a brokerage account for an early retiree that ends up in second tier of IRMA because of it. Yeah, that's not good. Even if Josh is wrong here, I'm brutally honest. What do you think is going to happen to Republicans after this Obamacare debacle? Yeah, well, they're going to lose the House without question. And Mike Johnson's now, he said in 2026, we're really going for it. I'm like, hey, but where were you last year there, guy? How do you know when to stop playing the game when you have one? It's tough to stop when you're at your peak. Whatever. That's a challenge, Eric. Challenge. It's tough to stop when you're at your peak earning years. I completely agree with that. I'm very sympathetic towards that for sure. FanDuel. Oh, dude, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, your mom, yeah, 100%, man. I think the widow's tax trap might have happened to my dad when my mom, man. If you aren't a CPA, it means you're lazy. Okay. Why is this guy up here just, I don't get it, man. Is he still mad at me for making fun of him? Dude. I remember he had that guy on here. It actually still bothers me. I forgot his name now, but it's like, you're really offended by that? It was like offended by it because I was making fun of him, and he like really was upset with me. He wrote me this long, dastardly email. I said, really? I said, really? I was stunned. I said, okay. I don't know what to tell you, man. I just, aiming to downshift. Right on, Jim. Yep, that's the way to do it. Dude, downshift, 100%. Yep, we got to show up semiconductor, 100%. One of the saddest stories of my life insurance professor told me was his client switched providers and committed. There's a 2-year that exempt from paying out. Oh, I gotcha. Here comes Chad. I just tried age 54 as a financial advisor for 20 years. I loved it, but I love retirement better. My wife is also retired. She's a supervisory principal of Raymond James. Right on, Chad. Look at freaking legend. Look at Chad crushing. I guarantee Chad doesn't sit there and bash other people in our business saying they're up to no good, but I'm great. I guess Josh does not want any Freemasons as customers. Oh, dude, you got to relax, brother. Dude, how much I bash the military. I bash them. You know how much I bash Republicans in the military all the time. We've been paying the world for night since 1945, whatever said. Dude. Because I make fun of a group. Oh my God, that cracks me up. I do appreciate the laughs. Every week we get one in here who just can't take a joke, man. It's look, I'm never gonna change, man. If you don't like my sense of humor, it's fine. It's the way I am. It's the way I am. Us poor white boys from Maine, and I don't know where you're from, brother, but us poor white boys from Maine, the most brutal people towards each other. It's just the way young white men were. And I imagine young black men in America, young Spanish men in America too. I imagine, just bashing each other like you would not believe. And sometimes you get in fights, and the next thing you know, you're back to bash. It's just I wouldn't want it any other way. And then I went in the Army and the infantry, and if you, oh man, sitting on these freaking 5 tons going out in the field, or being out in the field, stinking up a storm, freaking using, cutting off your t-shirt to use as toilet paper. Dude, just the level of discourse was, let's just put it this way, was not suitable for work, if you know what I'm saying. Now, it was an infantry unit, so there's no chicks in there, so maybe that's part of the reason. But I mean, the idea of having to stick up my butt, I've never understood it, man. It's a miserable life. I don't get it, and I never will. I'm never gonna change to make people. I want to do more business with Josh, but if he would just stop bashing the Freemasons, I will do more business with him. Okay, I'll stop bashing the Freemasons. I'm never gonna do that. You know why? Because at the end of the day, there's someone ahead of me, someone up there who's already secured my legacy for eternity. And that's someone with Jesus Christ. And if you look at the good book, got sneaky suspicion Jesus talks about worry. Got sneaky suspicion Jesus talks about, being not of this earth. I think Ecclesiastes with King Solomon talks about being joyful. In fact, I think on my website I say this. And this is not to say, look, I'm such a good Christian, but this is to say, if you believe her, you inherently can't be depressed. Because your eternity is already solved. And right here, I know there's nothing better for men than to rejoice and do good while they live. King Solomon, Ecclesiastes 3:12. Now, I have an issue with King Solomon. I think he's a whiner, rich boy whiner. You know what I'm saying? I got a big issue with King David too. Getting with what's her name? Bathsheba. That's not cool. But at the end of the day, I just know at the end of the day, the one who came, the one who conquered death for us all is Jesus. And right now he's up there sitting at the right hand of God, waiting for us to come up. The choirs of heaven open. St. Peter opens those pearly gates, and the good Lord says, well done, good and faithful servant. How can you not be happy and laugh when you hear this? How can you not be happy and laugh and say, man, this is a temporal world. The eternity awaits for us and all salvation for everything. If you can't laugh in this world, man, I don't get it. Laughter is divine. Simplicity is divine. Laughter is godly. Because laughter says, I'm not going to worry about stuff. I know God's in charge. If God says, I'm going to do you like I did Job or was it Job? Yeah. Oh, I hope he doesn't, because I don't think I got enough strength to deal with that. But whatever happens, happens, man. The good Lord's in charge. I'm just riding along for the ride, and it's a joyful ride. I'm not of this earth. I'm of God's world. And God, the creator of all things, the eternal light, the glory of the light of God, as C.S. Lewis talks about, compared to the incessant noise of hell. God's choirs of angels singing, the trumpets sounding, being at peace with pure joy and love, and just in complete awe of the creator of all heavens and earth. It's something that's, man, it's amazing to me. And how people can walk through this world, especially when you live in America, and just and I'm not saying this, I don't know whatever that guy's saying, I'm not saying he's doing it, but it seems to me that just goes against God's will for you. Because God's grace is all you need, and he's given it to us through his son Jesus, and all else is freaking peach. All else is just cream and milk. All right, so let's get out of here. That's a good way to end this, because like I said, we got all six of us going to church tomorrow, and it's just, we're all blessed. Right now, I feel truly, truly blessed. All my family back at home, everybody in good health, financially situated. Some people here gave me some money tonight, and again, I feel guilty for that, but I'm much obliged for that. You all are here. I got some serious friends I've never met, but freaking my man Jeff here, Dobies. I guarantee Jeff and I saw each other, freaking shake hands, give each other a pound, make fun of each other. And because I'm not gay, I don't drink a beer, but Jeff probably does drink a beer. I'd buy him a pint of Guinness while I drank some water. I guarantee freaking all these guys on here, dude. Pulvy. We talk about how Israel controls the world, the Freemasons. We'd laugh. Pulverizer, because he's gay, he'll drink what are all those things? Bartlett and James, you know what I'm saying? The old wine spritzer. Because I'm not gay, I'll drink water. And we'll have fun with it. It's all good. Harry, my man Harry. Yeah, Harry, freaking crushing, my Freemason friend. Guarantee I'd go to a freaking Harry and we'd freaking hang out. I'd say, Harry, the Freemasons are in charge. The Jews are in charge. The Freemasons, the Jesuits. And Harry'd say, oh, that's Josh again. And Harry, I know he's not gay because he's got a smoking hot wife. But Harry would be like, all right, that's all right. Let me buy you and your smoking hot wife pints of Guinness, even though I know you're not gay. And then we go pound each other, pound like this, what we do, punch each other. And we'd watch a football game. It'd be fun. Guarantee. Marie, never met Marie. Guarantee I go up there in Pennsylvania. Marie isn't gay. So I'd say, all right, Marie, I'm going to buy you a glass of water and you can buy me a glass of water. Anyway. And Bruce, look at Bruce, dude. Bruce legend. Yeah, Bruce. Even Penelope, and Ted. And I'd laugh at Ted for saying Happy Hanukkah. Say, no, we don't say Happy Hanukkah here. We're Chris's only, okay? And Ted would say, oh, you don't want any Jewish clients? I said, dude, it's all good, man. It's all good. I still don't want to say Happy Hanukkah. I want to say Merry Christmas, but I get it. Freemason and Marine, that's right. And freaking, so Harry can't alliterate more than one syllable. You know what I'm saying? He's a Marine. Maybe the Freemasons gave enough ability to alliterate more than two syllables, but I don't think so. I would buy 100%. Jill would buy me a quart of tap water. Actually, what I'd do, Jill, is I'd buy you a quart of raw milk that has been stupid pasteurized. All right. I thought Hanukkah was in the house. Hanukkah. Yeah, I hope you enjoy Paris too, Ted. That's freaking crushing. Now, it's a Christian. We're a Christian here, man. We are a Christian. That's Hanukkah Harry. I don't think Harry's Jewish, is he? Dude, it's all good, man. You know who the freaking most crushing of all men are right now? More so than Trump. It's a Jew. Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller. Do you see the guy here? The EEOC. I don't think Harry's a Jewish guy. They just open up. They ask for white guys who've been discriminated against to send them information so they could sue on their behalf. And you know who started this whole thing to go after anti-white racism? Was Stephen Miller, a Jew. Yeah, Stephen Miller crushes. And look, I got my issue with many things that Jews have done, many things. But that guy freaking crushes. Because at the end of the day, there's lots of freaking crushing Jews. Absolutely. The ethnic only Jews, not crushing. Steven Spielberg's and all these clowns. Bernie Sanders, not crushing. The Jews who are freaking crushing Stephen Miller, there's tons of them, man. Tons of them. They're just dwarfed by the Jews in name only. But we have tons of Christians in name only, too. Look at Biden, Sniffy Joe. Look at freaking what's her name? Nancy Pelosi. Do I think that EOC deal will go anywhere? Not more divide and conquer. No. Exactly, Henry. Miller defended the Duke lacrosse guys. That's where it all started. 100. It didn't really all start there, but that's when it really got the fire was set. The Duke lacrosse guys. Stephen Miller defended those guys. Dude, it's not divide and conquer to fight racism ever. Now I'm talking. Says he was one of the few at the time because everyone else was scared of it. 100%. I think the Jews have done a lot worse than that. That's not to say Christians haven't done a lot worse too, by the way. But I'm just saying, I think to say the worst thing the Jews ever done is vote for Mondami. No, I think they've done a lot worse than that. I don't want to, but it's not Judeo-Christian. This is where Jill and I argue incessantly. It's not Judeo-Christian. It's Christian. Our religion is superior because our guy is the Messiah who died and rose again to open up the gates of heaven. The Jews don't believe that. The Muslims don't believe that. Our guy is sitting at the right hand of God right now. These are not the same gods. They're just not. We cannot equalize Judaism with Christianity. Can't. It's bad to do this. It's bad. It was never done up until about 1950 after the basic advent of the state of Israel. It just wasn't. You look at your newspapers.com, you type in Judeo-Christian. There was never any utterances of that. Like one or two by Jewish newspapers in freaking Germany back in the 1800s. That's it. Do not elevate Judaism with Christianity. Don't. That doesn't mean Jews are bad or anything like that. But you can't do it. That's diminishing what Jesus went through. I'm so sick of people doing this, man. Don't do that. I know everyone has to do it. I get it. It doesn't shock me that she keeps getting reelected. But man, Christianity is number one. Everything else falls under. And that's always the way it's got to be, because that's the truth. And if the truth means something, it's Christians. And I just we just gotta take that back, man. It doesn't mean you start punching people, doesn't mean you start hating on people. That's stupid. I could have sworn Jesus friggin' certainly didn't tell us to hate Jews. But we don't hate Muslims either, by the way. That's another thing. Muslims aren't our enemy. Jews aren't our enemy. Evil is our enemy. People who commit evil are our enemy. Christians do it, Jews do it, Muslims do it, atheists do it. That's the enemy. All right. So anyway, Christians believe in the whole Bible, saying Judeo-Christian values doesn't put Christianity in second place. Yeah, it does. It's equalizing Judaism with Christianity, unequivocally. Judeo-Christian equalizes Judaism with Christianity. All right, I'm going to get out of here. God bless you guys. Merry Christmas to each and one of you all. Remember, Jesus is the reason. Freemasons not the enemy. 100%, dude. Absolutely. A group of people is never the enemy. It's people that are the enemy who are evil. A group of people, communist. Yeah, well, maybe, but you know what I'm saying. It's people who are the enemy, not a group of people. Being part of a group doesn't make you the enemy. And just along the lines for my man here, Freemasons have done wonderful things. Wonderful things. I'm not anti-Freemason. Do I want Freemasons as a secret society in charge of the whole world? No, neither do I want the Jesuits. All right. God bless the communists. We'll see you guys. Root against the SEC. Root against the SEC.